ゆらゆらり雲のように流れてく時間、小鳥のさえずりがチャイム見渡す限りの海へ、普通じゃないことだらけ住民と色です。あれもこれも教えてほしい、ドキドキは無限大、ずっと難しい顔してちゃダメかも、ほら甘いお菓子でも頬張って夢見心地な気分でうつら勉強もしなくちゃです、全力で今日も笑えたら分け合いにこしましょう、一息ついて寝転がったならおやすみ作戦会、触れた手と手お日様みたい真昼色示すが、ふわふわり微笑んだそよ風の合図、キラリキラリ光る砂にパラソルさして遊ぼう、波の音花の歌カラフルな香り、知りたいことが山積みだよ、一つずつときめいて、名前呼んだらもう友達だから、握手して飛び込もう未知の世界、先生に見つからないように枕投げしちょっとり、お布団でちょっぴり背伸びながらリストークしましょう、お昼寝はほどほどになんてさ言われるけど大丈夫、全力ではしゃいだ頃には真夜中のユートピア、一人が寂しいわ思い出上映会しよう、目をつむれば心またつながった、時にはお仕事も頑張ってみる、未来のためのミッション、願わくばこんな柔らかい日々が広がるように、一息ついて寝転がったならおやすみ作戦会、触れた手と手お日様みたい真昼色示すが、あとちょっとだけすやり。
Hello everyone, my name is Notepad Anon and I write games for fun. So what are we doing today? Well, today we're going to be working a bit more on Deep Blue Girls. Now, from last time, not much has actually changed. Most of what's changed has been visual, such as me adding a toggle right here, because I don't have any sense of right or wrong and I'm secretly just a coomer, as well as filling out sections like this a little bit more. Did add the advantage system. It does work relatively well. Not great, but it does work. Pretty much out of the Demon Lord, and I also added in opposition checks finally. Outside of that, I cleaned this up to make it look a little bit nicer. Let's see. Most everything is pretty much the same. I did rename things. Guts. It's Guts, Passion, and Tradition now. That's all that is. I went over that a little bit last time, but I didn't really go too deeply into it. But hopefully these get a better idea of like what they are and kind of prompt those opposition checks a little bit more. That's the goal anyway. because I want your boat foo to feel, hey, I can take this on. I'm gonna 1v1. I'm gonna 1v1 this big old scary ship because I'm a stupid boat. But hopefully that works relatively well. Traits got pretty much the same. The only real difference is self traits can be ranked as negative, regaining points. Negative trait comes up, the ship girl reduces that many dice rolled by the amount, but still accounting for the number of dice in her pool. If I have 3 in combat, with 5 in hobby archery, but -5 because I'm a pacifist, she's rolling 0 dice with no filler dice. That's kind of the gist there. Outside of that, most things have become relatively similar. Soul traits are right here. Self traits right here. I don't quite know how I want to actually organize this. I've been kind of having some trouble of like how to organize this properly because there's a lot of if and or but maybes present in it. So it's kind of I've been going back and forth. I'm like, do I want to just put these like this? Have like just a list of traits that you can select, or have like here's a destroyer traits, here are battleship traits. I don't quite know how I want to do that. If I do decide to add in additional boat types, different class of ships, I will probably have to do that just to separate them out. However, it's kind of one of those things of like, do I really need that? But that's where things get complicated, and we ignore complicated things here. What the hell? There's a lot of things going on here. And so, but today we're going to be working on something a little bit different. We're going to be working on home base deployment, and upkeep. One of the main things in a lot of these gacha games is that you have home base, pretty much either a literal base in case of things like Azure Lane and Kantai Collection, or more like hometown, like where we all gather all our shit. I feel it's important to have some more. Actually, upkeep. Do we want to do upkeep? No, we want to do base. Base living and. Actually, we can do deployment and upkeep. I don't quite know how I want to like rename this, but I might just call it home base. Honestly, that's actually not a terrible idea. But the idea of the home base is that it's a place where you are where you're allowed to be. It's your home. It's someplace that is calming, good, and generally, that burrito I had for lunch is coming back with a fucking vengeance. What's happening? But it's a place where you are allowed to pretty much build things up. You can't really deploy things in field. You have to do everything right here. So let's get going. Let's see, did I change anything from this? Home is where the heart is. Oh, different for the ship girls. And their commander. Would it be commander or admiral? Who's the head of a naval base? Base commander. Yeah, this commander then. Cuckoo-choo-choo. Basu Commander, Shikan-san. Homes with Heart has no different ship girls and their commander. Actually, what I should say is during a campaign of Deep Blue Girls, the ship girls and most friendlies will be located at home base. allowing them to restock, recuperate, and ready themselves for their next deployment. Home base in game terms plays three major functions. Actually, what we could do is non-combat scenes, upkeep, and stable. And God, that's calling it the stable doesn't quite seem right. What would you call, like, basing? Basing? That's not right either. We should do resource management, and pretty much what this idea is currently what's been called as a stable. Effectively, all the players are going to have a set of characters if they want to. Set of characters that are theirs, which allows them to pretty much roleplay and have their own scenes with different characters, as well as fill out the fleet a little bit more, rather than having your 3 to 5 ship girls. It's your 3 to 5 ship girls of a fleet of multiple ship girls. But like stable, would that be the correct term? Actually, no, we'll call it barracks. Actually, what would be a naval barracks? It would just be called a barracks then. Naval barracks. Term. Okay. Yeah, we'll use the term barracks. Just in technicality, what this is, and their barracks. Now we're going to move straight on to non-combat scenes, which sound like they should have a little bit more going on. What do we want to call them? What would be a technical thing for these? Story scenes. Sounds a little pretentious, but I'm okay with being pretentious here. I mean, God's sakes, we're writing a game about boat girls. We're not exactly looking at the most highbrow content available. So, yeah, let's do that. Story scenes. During the adventures and campaign, the base will undergo the ship girls and their commanders will have a variety of issues they will need to overcome on and off the battlefield. During story scenes take place on base or during downtime, allowing the ship girls to flex their personalities and actually, I know. Personality, hopes, and dreams. To their fellow would-be crew. Elite. This is when it comes to terms of these games. It's never easy getting the right terms. Story scenes take place on base or during downtime. Actually, take place during downtime. During time, allowing the ship girls to flex their personality, and to embrace personalities, hopes, and dreams. Actually, as well as interact with members of their squadron and fleet. Because if I remember correctly, the correct term is naval squadron. Its set is significant group of warships considered too small to be designated a fleet, which is part of a fleet. Flotilla, it would be a carrier battle group. What's a full naval fleet? This is why I fucking hate boats. I hate boats so much. Let's see, commander. Who's also a commander in chief, but many fleets are commanded by vice admirals and rear admirals. Multinational fleets are not in common. Holy League fleet. Yeah, this one. Strong command, filling an operation from several nations, such as Operation Endeavor. So, this is fully. Yeah, now you get to understand the sheer amount of fucking boats that go into this godforsaken thing. Boats. Boaties. No, I hit the wrong button. Why do I put this right next to my screen? Why do I do this to myself? Okay. Okay, so you don't know, not in Cobalt. So you want to do story scenes, sounds a little bit. Resource management and their barracks. So story scenes take place during downtime, hopes and dreams, as well as interacting with members of their squadron or fleet. During these scenes, play is as normal, with ship girls making checks to succeed or fail at goals. Rather than succeed at goals. New paragraph. Rather than have a definitive win-lose state, and such if they were in battle. These ship girls compete. Actually, do we want to compete, or do we want to? I know what we gotta do. The ship girls attempt to duel. Actually, I know. Acquire hope. Require hope. And actually, no. How do I want to do this? Effectively, you need an incentive to do these things. There always has to be an incentive. And what I was thinking about doing was adopting an old method. Because somebody asked in the thread, how do you do microtransactions? And I jokingly responded, the idea is you're going to have a centralized pool of dice effectively in the middle that people are taking from, with a prisoner's dilemma going, with a prisoner's dilemma concept going on, that you're always kind of taking these dice in the middle to do what you want with them. So why not implement that into the game? I think that will be a good idea because you now have an incentive to do these things. So the ship girls attempt to acquire an amount. Actually, I don't know how I want to word that. Hope dice, luck dice. Oh, I can make this. Do we commit full gotcha? I think we commit to full gotcha. Acquire pull dice. Acquire pull dice. Attempt to acquire pull dice. Which is an assortment, of dice. That the, what did I end up calling the GM in this game? I call him Admiral. Admiral. Yeah, I do call him an Admiral. Nice. That the Admiral will assign to certain scenes. Should the ship girls roleplay well, succeed at certain tasks, or be praised. Roleplay well, succeed, or be give. How do I want to do? Pretty much, I want to be like, you have the encouragement to give these to pretty much your friends to do this. You want to like give. You can only give. You can't really be like, give it to me. Actually, roleplay well, succeed at certain tasks, or be successful, during the story, or to be lucky during the story scenes. Or be lucky during the story scenes. I pull dice. You're pulling. You get more dice. Yeah, so these pull dice can be of any die size and can be used to augment the rolls of the character, augment checks by the ship girl by adding their result to the amount, by adding them to any of their rolls, including damage. Pull dice can also be expended to mitigate damage, acting as an additional luck factor. Actually being rolled to reduce an amount of damage taken. Whenever a pull die is used, it is consumed and discarded. Use them wisely. should a ship girl have an amount of pull dice left by the end of their sortie, they will be able to roll it to gain additional resources at the end of the mission. So the idea behind story scenes, so it'd be story scenes and pull dice. The entire idea of this is that you want to build up. You want to succeed, you want to do things, but you also want you want others to have it, but you don't want others to have it as well. Like, you want it, so you're like the one succeeding. Because fuck other people. Like, you're the only one who can be really trusted to not use this. And it's also like, do you really want... And it should also kind of be going back and forth constantly. Should the destroyers get these? Because then they can soak up damage. Or should the aircraft carrier girl take it? Because she's not going to take damage. We're going to get some bonus resources. It should always be that kind of, back and forth where you don't really know. And I'm actually going to put a side note. The number of the amount of pulls. The amount of pulls. An admirable should assign a number of pull dice equal to we'll do three times players of various sizes, ranging from D12 to D4. Ranging from D12 to D4. Emphasis should be around where the current power die is. But every die can be valuable, even if it is never fully used. Additional polls can be used. However, the big note is that not every pull die needs to be in a ship girl's repertoire. Not every pull die needs to be in a ship girl's repertoire by the end of the story scenes. Some should be lost due to incompetence, due to failure issues, or just not being able, or just not finding the opportunity to actually find them. They are an incentive to roleplay. They are an incentive to engage. Not a guarantee. Because the idea there is that you want people to... This is pretty much in the Pavlovian method of things, this is again, it's Pavlov. You say, here is the thing that you want. You're only going to get it if you do this. So do it. Because this should appeal to monkey brains, and that's kind of the core thing right there. You want to appeal to the monkey brain, because the monkey brain is going to be the one who's going to be like, me want this. Me want more options. Me want more dice. Lizard brains are going to see it as probably the most optimal thing, so they're going to want to roleplay so that they get more things. And loss of her brain, would they be thinking? Philosophers are just going to naturally do it anyway, so they're going to get rewarded by just doing what they're doing. So it kind of appeals to everybody. It's just like, here's something to do, do it. And these scenes can be anything. If you want to have an entire scene where everyone's going out for a fucking barbecue, go for it. That's what I am encouraging you to do. Have barbecues. Do things like that. Because if the more stuff you do, the more you're allowed to have fun. So what we want to do next is going to be resources. Resources and upkeep. Now, in the anti-collection tabletop RPG and a lot of the other these other games, there's usually the idea of like resources you have to like build or you have to find. So it's things that you have to do to get stuff. So it's like Azur Lane, like construction materials. So yeah, it looks like you need coins and a wisdom cube. Then you need the metals. Oh god. Oh geez. What's the longest ship? How long does the longest ship take to build? 6.5 hours. Actually, the longest normal ship is this one. The Kizuragi, who's from Idolmaster. Because of course she's from Idolmaster. Glorious, so it's no. Nope. Is it the Tripits? Yeah, this would be the longest one. It takes 6 hours to fucking build. Super rare Bismarck super duper uber class. Holy shit, wow, look. Like usually there's things like resources, even when it's like the fucking stupid cubes. So you got retire ships. That always sounds so grim, doesn't it? Like, yeah, we're retiring. Sorry, Munchkin. So actually, it would be girls front line. Resources. T-doll production leveling up. How do I get front line? Yeah, like logistic. There's always this Actually, that's what I should call it. We call it logistics. Logistics. There we go. Kantai collection. That's the entire fucking game, effectively. Like Kantai collection, logistics, upgrading, resupply. Actually, supplies, equipment. This is where the absolute bizarre nature of this fucking game comes in. And why Kantai collection just baffles my brain sometimes. Because there's a lot of Kantai collection. Like, way too fucking much Kantai collection at some point. It's like, oh sweet Jesus. Why? Why are we here? Just to suffer? So, let's see. Yeah, this is one thing I'm going to actually... Oh, God, I just remind I'm going to have to fucking look at half these things, aren't I? Don't look at my problems. So, okay, so what do you want to do? Because, yeah, you need steel bauxite fuel ammo. Mario class. Yeah, because this is shit you gotta worry about. It's like 5,000, 7,000 bauxite to do anything. Don't look at your problems, Notepad. Notepad, just ignore your issues. Ignore the fact that you gotta worry about fucking bauxite production. No, we're not gonna worry about that. Fuck it. So, logistics. What's the logistics about? Logistics. Ship girls are running more than on faith hope, and I immediately wanted to say spunk, but spunk is the incorrect word. Faith hope and a can-do attitude. Not only do they require basic supplies to continue functioning as girls, also need the necessary supply. Actually, they also need the necessary supplies to maintain their equipment and soul connection. Do we want to do that? Yeah, soul connection to their gear. Ship girls do not naturally recover endurance or health. They instead need to expend their supply, expend resources to recover. If the fleet requires additional support, they will require additional resources as well. Most of the sorties, the ship girls will engage. Most of the sortie the ship girls will undergo will be recovering supplies and other materials to assist in their war effort. Assist in the war effort, I should say. Assist in the war effort, as well as expanding out the base. With more helpful, actually with more gear, as well expand war effort, as well as expanding out the base to assist in their personal lives. Actually, well, dude, there are three main resources in. So yeah, there are three main resources in Deep Blue Girl. So we can either make this really simple or we can make this really complex. So we are going to make this pretty simple. I think what we're going to do is we're going to make well, do this. Because the thing is this, what we can do is have I'm looking at it right. I can see it right here. I am just okay, there are three main resources. What we can do is say like soul resource, self resource, and then kind of like base resource. Like these are going to be like your coins kind of thing. Like you need soul stuff to keep maintaining yourself. You need self stuff to make sure that you can continue to operate, and you need base resources to either buy new shit or kind of buy these two. I think that actually works. Now, what would they be though? Actually, I know what we can call it. We're going to call this steel supplies, and what's the most naval sounding currency? Doubloons. Actually, no, it wouldn't be doubloons. So it's Azerlane currency. Diamonds. Okay. Kantai collection currency. What's the Kantai collection? Do not use VPN. That's a... Oh, wow. Look at all these. One DMM point. So you have DMM money. Yeah, purchase DMM money. Yeah, that's great. What's the premium? What's the girls frontline premium currency? Premium currency. Diamonds. Okay, so we've got 2 sets of diamonds. We want to do Genshin Impact. What's the Genshin Impact premium currency? It's going to be diamonds again, isn't it? It's always fucking diamonds. Primo gems. Okay. Alright, so let me think of like some other like big gacha games. Gacha games. What's some popular gachas? Okay, Arknights. What's the premium currency of Arknights? Origonite. Alright. Let's see. What are some Action Dynamin? Let's look at Action Dynamin. Action Dynamin. We'll be refunding premium currency. Okay, what is the... That's a good start. So you don't even have a currency on here, so let's... another Eden. Let's see, we want to do... Fate Grand Order. What's the Fate Grand Order premium? Saint Quartz. Girls frontline, anthropomorphized handguns, and scantily clad young girls. Well, yes. However, let's see. We have like blood diamonds. Apparently, Kingdom Hearts Chai or whatever. Chi. Mario Kart Magia Record. Okay, what's the Magia Record premium currency? It's just called Magia Record currency. Oh, Magia Stones. How can I forget? So, oh, I know. Raid Shadow Legends. What's the raid? It's silver, I believe. Brave Exodus, White Cat Project, Sino Alice, Pokemon Masters EX. See, now I'm just curious. Love Live School Idol Festival. My God, I need. Of course, I need to know what the Love Live Idol fucking premium currency is. Gold currency. This is what I do. Like, this is the shit I end up going down the rabbit hole with. Like, I gotta know all the fucking currencies now. Fire Emblem Heroes. Okay, what's the Fire Emblem Heroes one? I think I'm gonna have to like resolve to diamonds. Wait, there's more than one currency? Oh, I love multiple currencies. It's the best. Orbs, everything. Feathers, badges, stam pots, stamina, dueling swords, storm arena battle, light blessing, stars and crystals. Man, I adore gacha raids. That's always like my favorite thing in the entire fucking world. I adore premium currencies. I think they are fucking hilarious. So, we'll call it steel supplies and diamonds. Yeah, diamonds, steel, and supplies. Hey, we're leaning into gacha. We're leaning into gacha. We're doing fucking gacha. I made a mistake. I made a mistake. Requires additional support. Diamond, steel, and supplies. So, what do they do? So, diamonds. I can actually fucking type. Diamonds are the premium currency. A base amount. Actually, what we can really do, we can do 4 main currencies in Deep Blue Girls: coins, diamonds, steel, and supplies. If we're going ham, we're committing to this. We are committing to this. Because I have no faith in humanity. Let's do it, boys. So, coins are the base currency. Base currency in Deep Blue Girls, which is readily available. Readily available for most situations, as well as assisting in building up. The. Actually, we can do coins and diamonds. Diamonds are the base currency in Deep Blue Girls, which most situation actually no, we want to do coins are the base currency, and then with diamonds are gonna be like advanced coins. Coins are base currency in Deep Blue Girls, which are readily available for most situations, as well as assisting in building up the base and purchasing additional supplies. Coins, individual characters. Actually, individual ship girls. Actually, if we're committing to the Barracks idea, what we're going to do is individual squadrons. Individual squadrons are given an allowance to purchase purchase gear among themselves with their coins. As it is also the base currency of the setting. The most non-authorized, actually, as it is the base currency, it can be spent on a variety of goods and services to assist the ship girls squadron in their goals missions. As it is the base currency, it can be spent on a variety of goods and services to assist the squadron in their goals. And we have to do a conversion rate. Now this is where things are going to get fun. Actually, let's explain each of the currencies. Then we're going to do a conversion rate. Diamonds are the premium currency. Diamonds are the premium currency, and is automatically assigned, and is handled by the fleet in its entirety. Diamonds are often required to purchase base upgrades or assist in the diamonds are often required to purchase base upgrades. How are we going to do base upgrades? We're going to have to put that system in here as well. So diamonds are required. Fuck it, we'll do are required to purchase base upgrades. And assist in the construction. And now you would be actually in the recruit and in the recruitment of additional ship girls. As diamonds are rare. Actually, diamonds hold the most overt value over all of the resources, granting it a favorable exchange rate to all services, we should say. Favorable exchange rate to all services. So now we have to do steel. Steel is used primarily for upkeep of the ship girls, with each ship girl taking damage, requiring one steel to requiring steel to repair herself, and requiring steel to repair herself. Then what we're going to do is we're going to have to put a list in here. Requiring steel to repair herself. Each one taking damage, requiring steel to repair herself. The supplies are used in a similar manner, but is reduced every upkeep phase by the number of ship girls. By numbers of ship girls currently in base, but it are reduced. So similar, but reduced every upkeep phase by number of ship girls currently on base. So the idea being you can have more options, more ships, pretty much more girls to do things with. That's going to cost you, and that's where you need to we need to get constant supplies. We're going to need constant supplies to get this, to get this, to get this. Cool, cool, cool. Need a burrito. There's a number of girls currently on base. So what we're going to do is we're going to make 2 tables here. Oh God. I'll do it right here, I guess. I got reminded, unfortunately, about it. Let me see. It's a TRPG woke red list. Okay, so this is where it's from. It's coming from this side, the RPG site, which is a fucking old boomer. This is a boomer site, and I love it. It's a boomer form, but we all love boomer forms. So, what is this? Well, let me just close this up. What is this? Well, the list is at its core a list of companies and list of ideas that have been highlighted by the community as either being woke, and you are judged by either being green, yellow, or red. If you are green, you are not woke, while you are red, you are hyper woke, with yellow being kind of in the middle there. Now, what is my opinion on this? My opinion on it is that this is and let me quote this, stupidest fucking thing I have ever had the displeasure of having to fucking read. I physically die a little on the inside every time I have to look at this, because I think it is let me quote this, stupidest fucking thing I have ever had the displeasure of reading. Why? You may be wondering, why, Notepad, do you think this is the stupidest fucking thing you've ever had the displeasure of fucking reading? Because, I'll give you a hint. All of this is subjective, and nobody really cares about the behind-the-scene business things, what goes on with these. Now, one of the big thing about, this, is you can kind of see, some of these, Palladium does what they have always done, make gonzo worlds. Palladium doesn't give a fuck about politics. It's oh, they're anti-woke or indifferent. That's so fucking broad, it means nothing. But what people are really, annoyed at it, overall, what people are really annoyed, and what people keep making yeah, it's not oh well, you're not on here, you're not on this. If you're not on this, you're a bit. If you are not on here, you are a bad. If you're on here, you're a bad person because you're woke. Now, the problem is, I'm gonna give you all a hint here real fast. These companies do not give a fuck. I will give you that right now. None of these companies give a fuck what you are doing. They do not give a fuck about your politics. They do not give a fuck about you. You wanna know why they don't care about you? You wanna know, why? Because you pay them. You give them money. And they do these things mostly for that acquisition of wealth. And yeah, there's a few in here which I'm okay, we have Daniel Fox's Wild Ride as Vihanda. Daniel Fox is a fucking idiot. He shitposted on 4chan because he made a shitty Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay 2nd Edition OSR game that's he keeps like masturbating violently to himself that he's like the second coming of retard Jesus, which offends me at my fucking core because I love Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay and I think it's an astounding game. Unfortunately, Zweihander takes a shit on it. Or is he woke? No, he's doing it for the money. Like, if it was more incentivized, if Daniel Fox was more incentivized to be the most racist, fucking horrible bigot available, he would do it instant fucking taneously. Instantly. He would not take a second. There would not be a second, like, stance. If that was the more popular opinion, that's what he would do instantaneously. Evil Hat Productions, same shit. They would, if it was more incentivized to be racist, they would. But they're doing it for money. Gen Con just wants to avoid anything remotely problematic. And that comes from either direction. If you go out there with a fucking communist flag and then you want to eat the bourgeoisie, those guys are going to throw their hands on me like, no, get away. You know, it's kind of like that, shove you away. A lot of these guys are like, oh, wow, Magpie Games. Oh, they diversity. They also have Daniel Kwan, Asian represent. Like, who? Yeah, of course they did, because look, what else did they fucking do? That company has nothing now, and the only reason they are actually even on anyone's radar these days is because they did Masks, which was a cheap PBTA game, and they also did fucking Avatar Legends, which made $9.5 million fucking dollars on Kickstarter. Oh no, they did that, and it's gonna be the same shit. Like, and then you have things like Games Workshop. Like, Games Workshop doesn't care. There's not a single human being in Games Workshop that gives a fuck about you. Remember that, kids. Games Workshop is so up here, you are so down here, they don't care. They care about their franchise because they see a little green bar go up. They don't care about your politics. They don't care about if you're woke or not. There is a man who is in a suit, who sits at a desk all day looking at reports. And probably 3-4 years ago, a guy came into his office, put down a little document, and said, we checked the focus groups, and the focus group said, say these things, and we're going to get, good boy points. And they did. Congratulations. That's not going to put them on the fucking list at all. What I'm trying to get across here is that this list is effectively, we just want money. This guy right here, I don't even know who the hell he is, but judging by his Primeval Tool, what? Like, half these guys are like old grog. These are grog. Like, a lot of these things are like OSR stuff. Like, Sinomine is just, that's just Shadow of the Demon. Oh, wow. Like, oh, wow, Frog God Games. Like, a lot of these guys are just business guys. They're old school OSR guys, and they don't really give a shit because they know they do not care. And they've made it the point where they do not care. However, the fact that this list is making its rounds, this is where things get like really fucked. It's making its rounds because it's like, okay, so everybody on this list is bad now, and everyone on this list is good, and vice versa. This is just a dividing factor. Or like the yellow ones mean nothing. Like, oh yeah, they pander. Congratulations, they're doing a business. Oh no, I hate to break it to everybody, but people want to make money. Like, there's some here like Hero Game, higher sensitivity readers. No shit, you know what a sensitivity reader half the time is? It's a fucking editor you pay half as much for. That's all it is. Even though I still think sensitivity reading is a fucking racket. Mostly because it means nothing. You can hire 3 sensitivity readers and they're going to find 3 different things that are wrong or 3 different things that are fine. It doesn't matter. Oh no! Oh, like President Atlas Games is another blue check mark. That's just like a sign of evil now. You get approved by Twitter, be like, oh, you're a bad person now because you got fucking Twitter approved. God, I fucking hate these dumbasses. They don't, like, the one thing I want to get across more than anything, like, the one thing I want to remember you, I want you to remember, is that all of these, every single one of them, do not care. As long as you put down the money, as long as you put down that money, they'll be fine. And what's going to happen is when people leave this hobby because of the fucking wars going on, some of these companies will remain, others will not, because they will die in it. People are going to start killing each other over it. It's like, oh, they're the bad guy. No, they're the bad guy. It doesn't matter. That's the problem. You have, this list has done nothing of value outside anger people. So congratulations, whoever the, like, congratulations, Akil. You've managed to be. Let me quote this. Let me just put this up on screen real fast, just so everyone knows. Congrats, Akil. You're a moron. Congratulations. I feel very proud of you that all of these people, you've fallen for the bait. Congratulations. You've gotten on your knees and bowed your head just the same as everybody else. I hate all of you people. But let's go back to something I actually enjoy. Let's do this. So we need to do steel. Actually, we need to do steel and healing. Actually, health restoration. Actually, no. So we need to do steel, which is going to be 1 steel for, and actually healing, 1 endurance. So you're going to be spending a majority of your steel on healing endurance. That's going to be like the main thing. I want to get that across. Is like, this is the problem. Now we're going to set spy heal for 1 approach heal. For 1 approach. That's pretty much it. Is there any other? Yeah, actually what we should do is we're going to do 10 steel, and we'll do from disable to restore disable. There we go. That's it. And we want to do center, bottom, white. This is one of those things where I'm probably going to have to just, actually middle. I'm probably going to have to put in a section saying like, or clean this section up a little bit. And Barracks, okay. Barracks. Actually, Barracks, Squadrons, and the Fleet. The ship girls, the initial ship girls are the starting members of the fleet. A combination of ship girls and on staff sent to the base to set up shop up and ready themselves for the oncoming conflict. They will form Squadron 1. And will be sent out on sorties to gain supplies and drive back and drive back the enemy. As the base expands and the ship girls come under threat, they will need to expand out their repertoire, extend out their retinue of allies and other ship girls to have both options. Yeah, taste it in my. I hit the fucking button again. Steam, no, stop it, please. Okay, Steam, you're getting exiled to the far end of the taskbar. Why do people ping me on things? Okay, so as base expands, the ship girls will need will expand out the retinue of allies and other ship girls to have both to have additional as they take the fight to the surrounding area. And so how do we want to do this? Actually, what we can do, I know what we're going to do. Individual players, and it's tired. So yeah, that's how we're going to handle this. Is pretty much every player is going to get their own diamonds to buy their own ship girls that they want to LARP as. Why? Because I think that will be fun. Additional option, they take the fight to the surrounding area. So what we need to do and come to threat, they will need. So what we need to do is ship class, diamonds, steel, and diamonds and steel. So ship class, we're going to have aircraft carriers, obviously, destroyers, cruisers, if I can actually fucking spell, cruisers, and battleships. So diamonds wise, I don't know how I want to handle the economy, or you're not going to have that many diamonds overall. So roughly speaking, actually, you're only really going to be able to get diamonds through if you keep your rolls, but it's also going to be an incredibly selfish thing, so we don't want that many diamonds. So aircraft carriers, we can do 20, 15, 15, 15, 10, and then steel, you're going to get a lot more actively, so we can do something like 200, 180, 175. Destroyers are half as valuable as aircraft carriers, but aircraft carriers are also just more expensive to have shit with. I might increase the, actually, we can probably do something like this, 25. You can't just buy an aircraft carrier off the bat. Now, technically, everyone will be like, well, I want to start as an aircraft carrier, then being like, well, the disadvantage of that is that you can't really get anything if you're all fucking dead. I know, it's astounding. It's this revolutionary new thing that no one has ever heard about. Turns out dying sucks. This is what I'm thinking about, like, actually adding in, like, more options for ship classes. I will actually probably inquire with some people, being like, do you want just the basic classes, or do you want, like, as a series of boat girls, would you want to actually play as the, like, support ships? Like, would you want to play a munitions ship? And it's a very actually serious question, because I'm like, on one hand, I genuinely don't know if people would want to. I genuinely do not know. Like, half of me says no one would want to do that because nobody likes to be, like, kind of consigned to that really support role unless they are like, well, this is just my thing. I've just kind of resigned myself to doing that. Hence why I want to add the system in so nobody feels resigned to being this. And destroyers are going to go down fast. You're going to take like a good hit or two, you're going to be fucking dead as a destroyer. So you need a method to actually replace characters, and this is going to be the method to replace characters. So what I'm going to do right now is, give me 1 second, I'm going to turn on my fucking lights. Oh, that's God. Well, I'm up. I'm also going to get coffee. So what if it's like 9 o'clock? Who cares if it's like 8 at night? I'm a free adult. I do pay my taxes. I like falling apart if you can't realize. Now, you may be wondering what I'm doing right now. It is, I have a little thing under my desk. I have a little ottoman I can put my legs up on because I like putting my legs up. Because if I don't put my legs up, my legs start getting tired, and then I start, like, moving them. I'm one of those guys who, like, beats his leg like a fucking rabbit sometimes when he gets bored. And I've done that, like, all throughout my life. It's just a habit I have. And I've kicked things, I have done terrible things with that habit, so I try to, if I put my legs up though, it doesn't do That's more comfortable. However, my poor Ottoman here has seen better days. So, looking to my co-host, Squeaky the Chair. Let's go. Let's go, gamers. Ah, God. Okay, so we've got our ship girls and the amount of steel they're going to require. This can change. I think I'm going to keep the idea of coins and diamonds. Like, you're always going to get fucking coins, but diamonds are going to be a little bit more rare. And I'm probably going to have to put that as a note somewhere. Yeah, mostly you're going to get that from polls, but polls are also going to be entirely tied to you, the character, you, the player, which is going to be a little bit of a way. So, so by default, a starting base has enough room for 10 ship girls, which can be assigned to various squadrons. Which can be assigned to various squadrons to assist in. Which can be assigned to various squadrons to assist in the day-to-day operations. Day-to-day operations of the fleet. Operation. Individual ship girls are tied to the player that purchased them, allowing them to be swapped out for any of their other characters, any of their other ship girls for sorties. More sorties in another squadron. Entire squadrons can instead be chosen. A player may opt to create a quote free ship. So yeah, what do you want to call it? Free ship? We'll call it an open ship. Create an open ship, which is a ship girl not bound to any player until they are chosen by a player. So I want to encourage the idea of, like, you're building a fleet. So it could be like, hey, what the ideal and what I kind of want to get across is you're going to be playing a squadron. You're going to be doing the doing things squadron. Yeah, and this is what the players are going to be, players to be played. That's what they're going to be doing. However, another squadron can be assigned to do, we'll call it like mundane tasks, which is going to be passive income at the end of the day. The fact that you have a squadron doing something means that you're going to be getting resources. And you want to invest in these ship girls to get additional things, which is the benefit of it. Like, you want to get, hey, we're going to buy 2 battleship girls and a cruiser girl, so we can now dedicate it to, to convoy raiding or convoy protection. And every upkeep phase, we're going to be paying for ourselves effectively because we're getting that amount of supplies in. Like, we don't have to worry about that. Or we're going to get a amount of coins in. We're getting a amount of supplies in. Or we're getting things in. And it's pretty much, it's the idea of allowing players to kind of manage that back end of things. It also, kind of the greater Waifucore thing, allows you to have a little bit more leeway when it comes to other franchises. Let's say Horse Girl one, you're effectively going to have the stable, in which Horse Girl number 1 is going to be racing in this race, but Horse Girl number 2 is going to be racing in another race. It's good to have both, however, you may not always play it, and that's fine. They're always there. This also, and I'm going to have to put a side note here, this is also a method... Oh, hello, phone. Give me a second, everybody. Hello, I am alive. So, let's see. Where was I? Oh, player is not bound to any player until they are chosen by a player. Actually, so ship girls who are not being played are assigned to specific are assigned to a task to generate generate a resource or undergo a specific assignment. The other major thing about this, and I remember this from actually a game my friend wrote, is that if you ever have a chance, I'm going to sneeze in a second. Oh Jesus, oh Christ, oh God. Oh, pretty much if you have a guy who can't make it a session, if you have your four guy team and someone's like, hey, I can't make it, something happened, I'm sick, I'm not feeling too hot, you can still play. That's a big thing. You can still just take another squadron or another set of girls and do it and play a game still. Same thing, same everything. You are still creating those characters. The characters are created as normal, but you're just allowed to have a little bit more fun. Like, you don't need to feel constrained, like, oh no, I don't know what I'm doing here. They might be different, and you're allowed to kind of mold them to how you want them to be. Yeah, we're not dealing with these ones right away. However, we also now do this. Undergo a specific are assigned to a task to generate additional resource or undergo a specific assignment. Where I'm actually going to put that here. Footnote. These can be played out. These can be played out by another group. You can actually also use this for, like, quote, living world campaigns, where you have just multiple girls running around doing stuff. Actually, wouldn't be a terrible idea for this system. Which is actually a really good idea. Notepad, why do you surprise yourself so often with these great ideas? Why are you the way that you are? Plays about by... These can be played out if the group is unable to meet, or simply make a check to see if they succeed or not. And the resource generation is determined by what ships are assigned to which category. As determined by what ships are assigned to the protection. Only squadrons are able to undergo a mission, undergo a resource gathering mission, and we'll do this at a second footnote. So you can't stack an entire fleet to do one thing and generate a lot of resources. They have to be spread out among separate resource. We'll call it resource lines. Mostly because of how we're going to be doing it. And that's going to be here. So if we go here, scroll down a bit. The ship class, going to do resource and then resource generation. resource generation. Actually, what we should do is you are assigned to coins. You're going to get this resource generation supplies, resource generation. It would be resource generation, supplies, and then steel. Those would be the only ones that you're going to be able to, because you can't get diamonds that way. Nope, you got to actually do stuff. So aircraft carriers, to kind of represent the fact that aircraft carriers cannot really do much by themselves and they need an escort. They're a multiplier. Pretty much whatever the value is of anything else they are assigned to, they're going to multiply that. However, alone, so if you assign 3 aircraft carriers to do something, they're going to generate nothing. Like, because they need other things. Which is going to lead to battleships. Coins are only going to be they're only going to have a 3 there. Supplies, we're going to do 4 and steel. Cruisers are going to be our generalists. They're going to get a decent amount of coins. They're going to get lower resources, and they're going to get low, decent steel. So actually, there should be 5, 9. So actually 6, 10, 5, 8, 12. So actually, let's do 8. Yeah, so you're not getting that many coins because this is pretty much carrier escort. The transport escorts. Why am I doing this? Because I need to. And it kind of provides a little bit more context. So 2, so 6, so 8, 10, 6, 10. And then you can do 2, 2, 2. And then so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You're going to be generating more supplies. So technically, if you assign 2 battleships plus a destroyer to generate coins, you're going to end up with 4 plus 5. You're going to end up with 9 coins per upkeep. So that's not a lot, but again, they're doing nothing else. Like, it doesn't seem like a lot, and generally it's not. Like, I should actually bump up these numbers. Let's double the numbers. So it'd be 4, 8, 8, 8, 6, 6, 6, 8, 6. So now 2 battleships, so that'd be 8 plus 6, it would be 14 coins in upkeep. Like, not much. But that's not really the point. You want to optimize it, obviously. So you're looking at this being like, okay, well, you don't want you on coin duty. We want you generating like supplies. So it's going to be like battleship plus destroyer, like battleship 2 plus destroyer is going to generating steel. So we can actually play around with these numbers a little bit more. We want these to equal 20. We want these to equal out. Cruisers, let's bump this up to 9. We can bump you down to 4. We can bump you down to 5. Destroyers, let's bump you up to 10, and then we're going to reduce you to 4. We're going to reduce you to 4, so that would be 8, 18, we can do 5, 5. So pretty much you are going to be dedicated to getting supplies across. And then aircraft carriers, and then 4, 8, 8. Actually, no, we want you to be carrier escort, though. 8, 8, 16. Yeah, since you're going to be carrier escort, so this has to equal 20. So if we do 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, that would be 14, 21. So it'd be 6, 6, 6. 6, 6, 6 across the board would be 18. Then we can do 7-7, unless we do this, like 7-7-7 across the board. Destroyers are just more optimal, but they kind of suffer from the fact that they don't have like one thing that they excel at. And then give everyone a thing they excel at. So we can do something like this. Like, you got, like, battleships do not want to generate coins. Like, they got better shit to do. Aircraft carriers are just generally not very good at doing anything. They're helping. That is all everyone needs to know about aircraft carriers. They are helping. Actually, what we can do is we can move you down here. Specific assignments. So this should also encourage pretty much this should encourage things like, you are a destroyer squadron, you are a battleship squadron. Just kind of getting those ideas a little bit more. And just to make sure it's like, yeah, you might do like a mission being like, hey, there's an emergency mission going on right now. Oh God, what's happening? Your destroyer fleets, your destroyer squadron is under threat now. It's like, what do a bunch of destroyers do in this situation? Like, we are the least qualified people to actually be in this current state of affairs. But here we are, going to die because we're fucking destroyers. Simply, which could also lead to additional things, but leadership girls are tied to player to purchase them. Slap an image right there, and that means we get to slap resource generation girls. We can put you right there, paste you unlinked right here. Am I literally dealing with gacha mechanics? Yes, I am. Why? Because you need to expand out the idea here. You need to give them the Skinner box. Because if you don't give them a Skinner box, they're going to forget about everything that you want to do. Okay, there we go. Actually, we'll put another footnote right here, because God, I love fucking footnotes. Footnote: aircraft carriers produce 0 resources, but double the effect. The effect of any of these squadrons. This does not stack. So you want to really spread your aircraft carriers among different squadrons. You don't want to like constrain them to like a single squadron or two, because if you do that, you're going to lose a lot of value out of them. You may say, hey, this is a good idea, but not really. Okay, so we've got all these. We've got this. Purchasing of that. The barracks are going to come into new ones. I fit everything under here. This would be pretty pog if I could. I cannot. It's not pog. Don't do that. Slap an image right there. We'll slap an image right there. Actually, we can probably slap an image right down here. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to call it here for today. We've been working on this for about an hour. We actually made pretty good progress on the home base aspect, because arguably this is not going to be too long, and probably the rest of the night and tomorrow I'm going to be working on kind of fixing up the base aspect. You may be saying like, well, this isn't really that important, but it provides context. It provides reason, it provides ideas for actual campaigns. Because you can just do a sortie and just do sorties, that's fine, but you need to have a reward. You need to have something to give them something with. And a majority of gacha, it's the Skinner box. You need to continuously offer something for them to want. If you don't give them something they want, they're not going to want to do it anymore. The usual incentive for a majority of these games is not the gameplay, it's you pull your gacha, and you roll the dice to get your waifus, you roll it to get better resources, you're doing it to get something. I need to emulate that feeling. And I'm going to emulate it by desperately attempting to actually, get across the idea of, like, here's some resources. You want to get more waifus, you're going to need to get more get more things. You want to expand the base so you can get more things there. Base editions, I'm probably going to steal from one of my other games. Just the idea of they're going to be natural resource producers, as well as things like improving base quality, improving, more bonuses, or even down to like little things where it's like, hey, as long as you have this, every player is going to take a pull dice. Every player is going to start with a D8 pull dice or something. Little things. That's what people want to buy, and that's what they're going to buy in, because it's like, oh, well, I've taken this pull dice now. I can now roll that die. I take a meaty hit, I can roll that pull dice and reduce it by that much damage. I have a little bit of an advantage. I'm allowed to do these things, which is valuable, and that is where your advancement's going to come in. Because you can't just simply advance. Your characters are going to be beautiful by the end of character creation, because we can't really advance much there. What we can do is we can improve the lives of the players and the characters, and because that's where the majority of things is going to go. You may play only one set of characters, but you want to expand this repertoire of other girls, of other ideas, and everyone's friends with each other. Ooh, kawaii. Oh no, Jim and Bob couldn't make it to session today, so we're going to be playing these other girls. And they're going to go on their adventure, and something's going to happen there. Ooh, look, we have some cool things going on here. That's what we're doing. That's how we do it, baby. So, I will call it there for today. Thank you all. I will see you all on Wednesday. Hopefully by Wednesday, we're making pretty good progress on things. We'll be working on combat and sorties. Once combat and sorties are done, it's pretty much just a beeline to get equipment done. That is literally all Friday is going to be. It's going to be equipment, armaments, everything. And hopefully we wrap things up on Friday. That is the goal. If I can't do that, what it'll be is the Saturday will be early afternoon stream, which is going to be Final Fantasy Curious Case. After that, we're going to be going immediately into, pretty much we'll do another Deep Blue Girl stream. So, thank you. Hope you all have a wonderful